So, today I'd like to share with you a very simple yet effective way to start your day from a place of groundedness, centeredness, calm, and intentionality. And I hear all the time people saying to me that they're having a hard time feeling grounded and centered. They're feeling more distracted of late and scatterbrained. And all of this is very understandable. It was difficult to get grounded and centered, and try not to be distracted even before we started experiencing all the challenges in our world today, before the pandemic, before all sorts of challenges coming from being out of work, staying home, dealing with social situations and social injustice. There's a lot more charge in the air right now. And for many of us who are um, more empathic, and we sense and we feel everything that's around us, we feel the energy around us very easily, it becomes difficult. It's exponentially difficult to get centered, to get focused, to get calm when that's what our environment is. But given that environment, it's especially crucial that we do so and that we make it a practice, and that practice then becomes a habit so that we're able to manage our external environment and all the extra feelings and charges that are out there, from a good place, from a place where we can take um, positive steps and make good choices. So, this practice that I'm going to share with you today is not rocket science. It's very simple. You may have done these things before, heard these things before, but what I'm going to suggest to you might even sound a little silly. I'm going to encourage you to do these things before you even get out of bed. So, before you even step out of bed, out of your room, I'm going to encourage you to do these few things while you're still in bed. And the reason is because many of us, as soon as we get out of bed, we hit the ground running. We're already in our habit patterns of what we do in the morning, whatever those things may be. And so our minds are already entangled in those habit patterns. And in fact, many of us, we wake up and right away we're thinking of our to do list. So, what I'm suggesting to you is to do some of these basic practices before you get out of bed, first thing as soon as you awaken. And by doing that, we'll begin to retrain our behavior first thing in the morning, and hopefully also retrain the mind, rewire the mind to get focused inward, to connect to the mind body, to become intentional, and that overrides the immediate thought processes of what do I have to do today, the worries that might creep back up into our thoughts, all those things that otherwise tend to take up that space in our minds. So, again, it might seem a little silly, but I guarantee you, if you try this and if you do this regularly in the morning while you're in bed, you will notice a difference. I share this with every one of my coaching clients, and they have validated that it makes such a difference the days they do this practice, this basic, simple practice, while they're in bed, and the days they may forget and not do it, they can feel the difference. So I encourage you to give it a shot, and try this out, and then share with me what your thoughts are. You can make comments below this video and share with me how this worked for you, or if perhaps it didn't work for you, or what your challenges were as you were trying to do this. So, as I said, the practices are not rocket science. They're very simple. And there's two key things that we're going to do. One is we're going to connect with the mind body first thing in the morning. So, we're going to connect with our breathing. We're going to connect with our bodies, how the body feels this morning. And we're going to connect with the mind by uh, bringing very conscious thoughts and intentions to our minds first thing in the morning, instead of letting the mind go off into our to-do lists and some of the other things that we might have a tendency to think about. And then the second thing we're going to do is actually set a specific intention for our day before we get out of bed. And so these two basic things that we'll do, and we'll do a few things that encompass this practice, that will again set the stage to start off on that good note, start off with that right foot, and then you will find your day unfold a lot better. And you will find yourself in that space where no matter what you do feel, because we're not going to stop feeling a lot of these challenging emotions and feelings because of the energy that's around us. That's not going to stop. We don't have control over that. But what we do have control over is right here. And when we do set the stage to start off from a grounded place, from a centered place, from a very intentional place, then whatever we do experience in our day, we'll be able to manage more easily. We'll be able to move through and process from a better place, a loving kindness place, a grounded place, a compassionate place, all of those things. So let's get started. And I'm going to show you, of course, on my yoga mat, but imagine that you were lying in your bed, of course, as I'm encouraging you to do. And as soon as you wake up in the morning, I invite you to simply take your hands and bring them to your belly. And you might bring both hands to your belly. You might bring one hand to your heart space, one hand to your belly. And just begin to notice your breathing. First thing in the morning, you're waking up. Maybe you take a few deep breaths in and out. Maybe there's a yawn mixed in there. But just connect to that breath, those first few big breaths that you take intentionally. Breathe in fully, feel your breath, and then breathe out fully. Take 2 or 3 of those nice big breaths first thing as you awaken. And then begin to move the body. So start connecting with your body. So just start rolling those ankles in one direction a few times and really be with your movement. So feel the movement. Keep your awareness here. Try not to let the mind wander away into the to-do list yet. Breathe with this movement. You can do all sorts of movements with your feet, rotations, windshield wipers, flexion, extension. Just move your feet around and just feel the movement through your legs. Notice how the feet feel, notice how the legs feel as you do these various movements. So you can decide what kind of movement to do. And then once you move your feet around a little bit, stretch those legs a little bit, then we're going to bring the feet up onto your bed with the knees up and just kind of allow the feet to settle. Take your arms, and you may not be able to reach all the way back if you have a headrest back there, but just take your arms as far back as you can and just stretch back a little bit through those arms, through those shoulders, waking up the shoulders. And then we'll bring those elbows down onto the bed. Our hands are up, facing up towards the ceiling. And we'll just do a little stretching here. So we'll reach up to the sky, take one full breath in and out. And then bring that elbow down. And then the other arm, reach straight up. And after you exhale, bring it back down. And then do it again, but reach more to the side, like a little twist. And then bring the arm, shoulder back down. Bring the arm and the shoulder back down. And then take both arms up, reach. A couple of big breaths here as you reach up through the arms. And after those few breaths, reaching up to the sky, then on the next exhale, cross your arms over. So opposite hand goes to the opposite shoulder. And give yourself a hug. So the first thing you do is before you hug your partner, your kids, give yourself a hug. We don't appreciate ourselves, love ourselves enough. So as you're doing this, just feel your arms sinking into your chest. Just let the weight of the arms go. You don't have to be active here. Take 2 deep breaths with the arms sinking into the chest. Feel your backside grounding into the bed. And then reach it up. Cross the other way. The opposite arm goes on top. Just let your arms sink. Let them get heavy. Take 2 deep breaths into the arms as they get heavy. Beautiful. And then reach those arms up again. And then bring one knee up and grab the knee. And then let the hands sink into the shin. Feel the weight of your hands into the shin. Feel the weight of your leg toward your body or into your body. And then feel the weight of your entire body and your backside sinking into the bed. Take 2 deep breaths, just like that. Maybe you even say to yourself, I feel grounded. I feel my back sinking into the bed, feeling the support underneath me. And then after 2 breaths, release that. Bring the other leg in. Again, your hands gently press into the shin. Feel that weight. Feel the weight of your leg pressing down into your body or toward your body. And then feel the weight of your back sinking into the bed. Take 2 deep breaths here. I feel steady and stable in this space. I feel safe in this space. I feel safe in my body. These are all different kinds of affirmations you could be saying at this time to connect with that feeling of groundedness, of stability, of being in this space, in this body, in this moment. And then after those breaths, just bring that foot down and just relax your arms to the side and just you might even take your feet a little wider. Just take your knees side to side a handful of times, breathing again as you do this, just noticing how that feels, trying to stay present with the sensations in your body and with your breathing. Anytime the mind goes into your to-do list or anything else, that's okay. Just notice, oh, there we go. My mind's going there. Bring it back. Take a deep breath and just feel your body once again. And then after several of those movements, just slowly roll onto your side. You might even stop and pause at your side if you like before you get up. And you might just sit up in bed. I like to just sit up cross-legged in bed, but if that's not comfortable, just throw your feet or your legs along the outside of your bed, but stay seated in bed and just sit along the side of your bed with your legs draped down. And we're going to do the second part that I mentioned, which is setting our intention. So those movements that we just did, really simple things. Again, you may have done these things before. If you do any kind of yoga, all of those things are something you have done before. But the key is we're doing them first thing in the morning, right as you wake up, and you're doing them very mindfully, bringing your mind into the sensations of the body, bringing your mind to the breath, connecting mind, body, and breath first thing in the morning. So important to do. Such a simple thing, but so important to do. And in doing that, maybe saying a few affirmative statements that help you feel grounded, help you feel stable, help you feel safe, secure in this space, in this body, at this time. So if that works for you, use your own language to create the affirmations around that. I just gave you some suggestions while I was showing you those movements. So the second thing, before you actually step out of bed, just take 2 or 3 more breaths to settle in your seat. Maybe close your eyes if you want, go inward and set an intention for the day. It could be a specific intention about something you want to carry out that day. Maybe it has to do with having clarity and speaking your truth at a meeting, or holding your ground in some way, or just being open-minded in your day. Or it could be something more general. It could be an intention of just love, taking on the day with love, from a place of love. It could be an intention of hope, an intention of strength, carrying your day out from a place of strength, from a place of courage, from a place of integrity. So whatever feels good to you, whatever feels right to you, take those last few breaths before you step off out of your bed onto the floor. Take those last few breaths to just set that intention and feel it in that heart space. So bring awareness to your heart space. Take a few deep breaths, imagining that you're breathing from your heart, and connect to your intention. State your intention in the affirmative. I go into my day with integrity, with courage, with strength, with love. And once you make your statement to yourself, to the world, taking those few breaths, feeling it in your heart, then go ahead and step onto the floor, come off your bed, go into your day, starting it off on the right foot, and then just watch how your day unfolds. And I hope that it unfolds for you from a better space, from a space where you feel more grounded, more connected to yourself, and definitely more intentional in the way that you carry out your day. So I hope this is helpful to you. Until next time, be well.